Yeah.
That's fucking distracting.
Right, because it's not scrolling like fucking crazy.
That's why I put up Facebook on there. I'm like, man, I can't deal with this shit. I can't look at this shit. Speaking of Facebook.
Yeah.
Man, I saw this fucking shit. Some outrage. This woman, I think the title said mum. So I figured it was some British shit.
Yeah, British, for sure.
So they had this shirt with a dinosaur on it. And her daughter wanted the shirt. So, on the tag it said for boys ages 1 to 7.
Yeah.
And so she just, what store was it? Kmart. This must be the last fucking Kmart.
So it's definitely not in the UK, but I don't think they have Kmart.
So she called Kmart. She started petitioning all this shit to remove gender labels from kids.
From the t-shirt? Because it said for boys? Yeah. That's retarded.
But her daughter wanted the shirt. She got her the shirt.
So just buy her the shirt. It's not like they're going to stop you at the register like, man, we cannot sell you this unless you have somebody with a penis with you.
But to play devil's advocate, I kind of understand what she's saying, because that is kind of, like certain type of shirts, like a Spider-Man shirt, for instance. A girl could be a fan of Spider-Man.
Yeah, for sure.
But she would have to get that out of the boys section.
I guess so, but to me now, like if you shopping online, they market a lot of this stuff towards females. Yeah. Like comic book shirts.
And another good point she made was that, like, if it was a girl dinosaur shirt, it would have had sequins and all this fucking. It would have been pink. And
that's a good point.
The fucking T-Rex.
But see, this is my thing. Even though it says that it's in the boys section, and it's like, to me, rather than trying to get the world to change to that aspect, just nobody cares if you buy the shirt for a girl or if the girl wears it. It's not like. To me, the outrage would be if somebody took offense to your little girl wearing a boy's shirt. Yeah. That would be like the uproar. Like the fact that it's in the boys section and says for boys and is marketed towards boys. I get the marketing thing. Because if you marketed that same shirt directly towards females, you might not sell but 20% of the shirts you would have sold marketed it towards boys. Because boys that small, that's a big deal to them.
So they want they just want a shirt section for kids.
Just shirts for kids. Just mix and match. You got like sequin shirts and regular shirts.
Training bras.
But think about
right
that.
Next to the fucking.
If you when you're a boy and you're like 7 to 9, you still think cooties is real and stuff, man. So it's a big deal to you if you're in the shirt section and that shirt's.
And they got pink shirts with it.
Yeah, not gonna. You might not want it. You're like, Mom, I don't want the girls' shirts. I want the boys' shirts. Like that. I don't know.
So gender reveals now. I guess they just want to pop just gray smoke. It ain't gonna be blue or the pink. It's just gonna be.
They just set off a smoke bomb.
Yeah, just gray. We're having a kid.
You gotta think about that though, man. All that stuff. It's the industry in itself. People making these cakes that have blue on the inside or pink on the inside. People make money off gender reveals. Yeah. And if that disappears because people aren't allowed to
outrage culture, man.
Yeah.
Everybody mad.
To me, that's a crazy thing to get mad about, though. I just couldn't imagine going to I've only been to 2 baby showers in my life, and I shouldn't have been in either one. They're not for guys.
And that's what I originally thought. But my girl, they make it nowadays it's just about everybody. So I had to go. But my growing up, baby showers was no men.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's how it's. Well, the ones I went to were in the military. So honestly, it was like a party with pregnant people there, which is an awkward thing in itself. But I don't know. I feel like it would be weird if you went to the baby shower and you didn't realize that we reached that point in society yet. So you go to the pregnant woman and you go, "Hey, so do you know what it is yet? What are you having?" And they just look at you with this scorn. A baby, because they don't want to tell you a gender and they think you're an asshole for asking.
I saw something else. Since we're on the topic of gender and kids and shit, it said, "Oh, you're 5." It might have been 7, but I think it said, "Oh, you're 5. You can't smoke cigarettes." It said, "Give me a cigarette." I can't. You're 5. Let me get a beer. I can't. You're 5. I don't feel like I'm the right gender. Well, you know everything. Some shit like that.
That's for real, though.
Yeah, that's real.
I think, like, I honestly, like, I remember,
like they'll chop a little kid dick off and say, "Well, he said he was a girl." Not
that's crazy to me because
when he
when
fucking
you're,
7 years old. You know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
even when you get like into your 20s, man, like you change drastically within like 5 years sometimes.
There's a documentary out where people with the regret that had sex changes but now regret it.
Well, think about it, because I
You
know,
ain't getting that dick back.
like, just from personal, just from personal experiences, like within a 5 year span, you could like have some kind of revelation in your mind to where like it really shifts who you are as a person or how you are in life. And if you're already like if you're a kid,
if you make a drastic fucking change like that,
yeah, there's no taking that back. Well, I mean, maybe there is. Can you?
I wouldn't bet my dick on
it. Facts. Well, my thing is this. Imagine going back to the doctor to get the redo or the undo. I don't know. Like, just think about that. You walk back in. This doctor's done this surgery to make you into a woman. Your penis is now a thing of the past.
Dog food.
and you sit there and have to tell this man. First, you're asking him because you don't know. You're like, yo, can you reconstruct my penis? And he looks at you with this crazy look. I don't know what happens during these surgeries. I've never researched it because not one part of my brain. To each their own. Yeah, I'm not curious about these things because there's no part of me that wants to be anything other than me. But I just feel like if they do cut it off, they're not keeping it in the file for you. Like it's not like he's like, well, we got your dick right here. Like we're just gonna slap it back on.
If they rebuild something from scratch, that's gonna be a Frankenstein dick that they took shit off your thigh.
Well, you remember like the Lorena Bobbitt case, like John Bobbitt. So I remember watching a documentary at one point, and this dude was like working at the Bunny Ranch or something in Vegas, John Bobbitt, and they had like when it happened, they had sewed his dick back together or something, but he has to use Viagra maybe.
He has to?
Yeah, otherwise it just won't work. I guess there was so much shit damaged, which it makes sense because she chopped part of his dick off. You know, that's a lot of damage, sir. Just, I don't know, but he was literally talking about how he has to use Viagra. So if you are a trans person who gets your penis reconstructed or one built from scratch, however that would work, that can't work though. Like there's just so much. The intricacies of how a penis works can't be just recreated in a room. Yeah. It'd make more sense for it to be a robot dick. It just would.
That's like, like you should have to do. Like it's harder to be the president. Like I think you should have to be a certain age to be able to get your dick chopped off. You gotta at least be like 40 or something where you halfway through your life. And you're able to make a decision like that. Because if you're 20, like that shit I did when I was 20, 21 that I wouldn't consider doing right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's no way my mind all the way made up on that shit. You can have a wild night and get a fucking sex change. If you some homosexual,
get a little too drunk during Mardi Gras and wake up a
But like if you already gay, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you be like, fuck it, I'm finally gonna go through with it. You know what I'm saying? That might be, you might feel like that right now, and 5 years down the line, you realize like, what was the point? Like, what are you getting now? You don't, like, what they flipping inside out and making a vagina? Like,
well, I had this thought, and
that's some wild shit.
This was an inebriated thought.
Move on.
This was definitely an inebriated thought, but like, how crazy would it be if you were like just some kind of ordained minister that could marry people?
Yeah, a couple, black youngster.
A couple walks in, and it's a guy that used to be a girl and a girl that used to be a guy. And the surgeries went really well and everything. You can't even.
So he could give her his dick.
Yeah, but well, look, I guess so. But you can't tell the difference. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and you just happen to be a priest that is religious, but they don't tell you these things.
Yeah.
And they've legally changed their names and their genders. And you in your mind think you're doing this straight up legit marriage, and then all of a sudden somebody breaks it to you after the fact, and you realize that you have literally, by the Bible standards, just done the most unholy union that the Bible could probably fathom.
Yeah.
Like, that would be some mindfuck shit as a priest. You probably would quit. You would never marry another couple as long as you live.
Yeah, that's some wild shit.
Just think about it, man.
But I also feel like I believe in freedom. You heard me? So I feel like if somebody won't do that, man, that's on you. Like how people be anti all this. If somebody won't, I don't care who you fuck. That's your business. As long as they consent to that,
I don't care about none of that.
That's your business. But you see, more where the big problems come in with me at though is like this weightlifting shit and sports and shit. Like especially contact sports. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if you was born a man, ain't no way you should be bench pressing to see who can bench press the most with women.
No, man. And I see the articles about like I can't remember the specific name of the person, but they had the one lady.
Yeah.
Like, but I just
they doing that shit in high school track right now. Where these dudes, transgenders, is taking all the medals.
That ain't right.
That ain't right. They breaking all the records, all the school records. And this girl, I forgot her name, but she kind of like protesting that shit. Cause they fighting for third place. The real women.
Yeah,
the real female.
I mean, you're not gonna beat out
because I mean, that's a slippery slope you got. If you want to say that transgender women can compete with women, all right, you can start off with this high school track shit. But what happens when
UFC?
Didn't
it already happen though?
Yeah, I think so.
They had that one
somebody beat
lady
the fuck out
that was mollywhopping the fuck out of women, man. That's
not even
up
that.
Shit.
Let's say an out of work NBA player. Or like
he goes over to the WNBA.
Yeah, Carmelo Anthony just wake up one day and say, "Man, I'm feeling like a woman."
He just rose in the WNBA.
And he going to WNBA,
dunking on people,
fucking
just
over them,
breaking rims and shit. Oh man,
like what? You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
I think it, and this is the part that kind of.
Because you open it up for one, you got to open it up for everybody. You heard me? So they going to have, like, men going to take over the WNBA. They take over boxing, female boxing, tennis. They're going to take over all that shit.
Yeah. Well, think about it like this, too, man. Like, that's why I feel like the culture is dangerous when it comes to people getting offended and having to tiptoe around this type of stuff. Because there's big issues. And
it's all not equal. You can't say, okay, a man should be able to become a woman. Okay. Two same-sex people should be able to get married. Okay. But you can't say that a man that's born... a woman that's born a man, you can't say that she can fight a woman that's born a woman. Like, there's somewhere you got to draw the line. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You can't just say, okay, I'm all the way left on all the issues, so I'm going to just side with this no matter what it is. I'm going to side with transgenders no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what they come up with.
I don't think that, like, that's why it'll keep happening, though, because people are, if you do, like, cause an uproar about it.
Yeah, you on the wrong side.
Like, immediately.
You're
like,
anti-transgender,
you can't be anti-anything, man. Like, and it bothers the shit out of me because I feel like life needs comedy. And despite the fact that these issues or how they are, man, you should be able to
voice your opinion.
Yeah, man.
Without being crucified.
Even if you don't agree with it, somebody else might laugh about it.
Yeah, and I think like
as long as it doesn't come from a place of hate, I think it should be okay.
Because that's a cheap shot. You know what I'm saying? To say, okay, you homophobic. Like, fuck no. I'm not homophobic. I'm just logical. I'm gonna make sense of this shit.
In all reality, there's layers to it too. Like if somebody, when somebody blankets like, oh, you're homophobic or you're anti-trans, it's like there's layers to this stuff.
Yeah.
Like there's layers to my levels of what I think about these issues. I might be what you consider to be against it, but at the same time, it might not be that drastic. It might just be a you do you, you do me kind of thing.
Yeah, because that's the same thing like with abortion. You might not agree with it, but as a man, I can say I'm going to stay out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whether I agree with it or not.
It's
the same. Well, they could say that. They could play devil's advocate and say, well, they could say that about trans issues. But I'm going to side with women on that. because I don't feel like that's fair for a man with a wig on or whatever the case
No,
may
that is
be
like all kinds
to
of wrong.
fight
Especially
a female born female.
Especially in a sport like UFC,
Contact,
boxing,
yeah.
like anything like I mean, well, I remember talking to somebody about the lingerie football league, and like in my mind, I was thinking, are more women playing in the lingerie football league because they love the sport of football, or you think they just in there trying to
get the money because they
get money, get somewhere else because of it? But let's just say that they happen to be
really like
in there because that's the only way they can play some form of professional football.
Yeah.
Well, what if a dude rolls out into the lingerie football league?
Go to knocking heads off.
I mean, think about that, because that in itself, football, don't get me wrong, like you can get hurt in UFC really bad, but like football is like, there's certain things that happen in football where it could be the end of you. Like one hit a certain way and you might not walk the same, you might not talk the same.
Because they're going to do some flips if a man come up.
I mean, think about that. Like some huge, like starting line, or I mean, huge linebacker rocks the shit out some 145-pound female.
140, 120, 110.
Yeah, that'd be.
Your women don't all be 140.
That would be some shit.
You hit one of them quarterbacks, it's over.
I don't know. To me, I hate that part of society now, though, man. Yeah.